everyone, it's Kristen from k.becca.com, and today we're going to be making some clean and simple Christmas cards using sketch pens. This project will work just as well with the foil quill, so if you're on the foil quill love train, be sure to stick around and check it out. I have a file open in Silhouette Studio here with the designs that I'll be using for my cards. I'm not sure how well you can see this, but the lines on the card front rectangles are blue, and the sketch portions of the designs have black lines. You'll be able to see the lines much better in a little bit. Your line colors can be whatever you'd like. What's important is that we set different colors for the sketch designs and for the cut lines so we can sketch and cut by line color when we're ready to send the designs to the machine later. The rectangle card fronts are 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, which is slightly smaller than A2 size. I made them this size so if I wanted to, I can fit 4 cards on a single page. I actually could have turned the horizontal design on the bottom of the page on its side so I could fit a 4th design in there, but I didn't think to do that, so today we'll just be making 3 cards. You can find the sketch designs used in all of these designs in my shop at k.becca.com, and the snowflakes used on all of the cards are in the same design set. I just sized them down on the horizontal card so I could fit 3 across. Speaking of the horizontal card, you might have noticed that part of the left and right snowflakes go beyond the cut line, and this was intentional. If you saw my recent video about making foil quill birthday cards, I talked about bleed and what it is. So basically, when you want a design to run right up to the cut line, you'll create a bleed so the design runs beyond the border of the piece. This is so if the printer, if you're dealing with a printed piece, or the cutting machine in this case, is a little bit off position when it creates the design, no one will notice because you've got that bleed there to provide some wiggle room in case the positioning isn't quite perfect. We're ready to set things up for sending to our machine, so click the Send tab from the top right menu, and then click the Line tab to open the Cut by Line color panel. When we do this, you'll be able to see the colors on the file much more clearly because the lines become a lot more bold. And we've got 2 rows. The row with the blue square represents the cut lines, and the row with the black square represents the sketch lines. We'll be using the left tool on the Silhouette Cameo for both sketching and cutting, so make sure that the tool number is set to the red circle on both rows. I'll change the material on both rows to plain cardstock, and I'll change the action on the blue row to cut and make sure the tool is the auto blade. If you're using a ratchet blade, you can choose that instead. And set the action on the black row to sketch if it's not already set. Next, I'll adjust the cut settings to settings that work for the cardstock that I'm using. In this case, it's a blade depth of 6, a speed of 4, force of 33, and 2 passes. Then I'll click on the sketch row, and since I'm using pens to sketch, I'll just leave these at the default settings, which are a speed of 10, force of 18, and a single pass. If you're using a foil quill, you'll want to adjust the settings to whatever works for you. I've been using a speed of 4 and a force of 5 for most brands of foil, and I've been getting excellent results. Now I'll turn my machine on so it's ready for the file, and I'll uncheck the box in the row with the blue square. When you uncheck a row or rows, your machine will ignore those when you send the file to it. So we want to uncheck the blue row because we want to sketch first and cut second. The black row has all of the sketch designs, so we'll leave that checked. Let's head over to the craft mat so we can set things up and talk about some of the sketch pen options that we can use for this project. Okay, I've already got the left tool holder loaded here with the Choma's Creations marker holder, which is my favorite sketch pen holder and a really good investment if you use your machine for sketching on a regular basis. I've also got 2 sets of gel pens. On the left is the Sakura Jelly Roll Metallic Gel Pen set, and this includes 10 pens with 1mm tips. On the right is the Uniball Signo Sparkling Glitter Gel Pen set, and this includes 9 pens. I actually only have 8 of the pens here. There is also a white pen in the set, and I was using it for another project and forgot to bring it over for this. The colored pens have a 1mm tip, just like the other set, and the white pen has a finer tip. Okay, first let's check out the swatches of the Uniball Sparkling Glitter Gel Pens. On white, you can see how colorful and sparkly these pens are. I love the rainbow of colors in this set, and I think this is the most glittery set of gel pens that I've tried to this point. Uniball calls the orange pen in the set bronze and the yellow pen gold, but on the white cardstock they're definitely more orange and yellow than bronze and gold. On the black cardstock, these pens are super duper glittery and the glitter shows up really well. I think that the ink in these gel pens is not opaque though, so what you see is pretty much all glitter. Next up are swatches of the Sakura metallic gel pens, and as the product description says, these have metallic ink as opposed to the glittery ink of the Uniball pens. This set includes 10 pens, 2 of which are gold. They obviously know that we love gold metallic things and will probably be using gold the most, so they included a spare. The ink in these pens is opaque, and you can see on the white cardstock here how nice and metallic they are. The red pen in the set was a little bit of a disappointment, as I thought the ink was a little bit on the watery side and didn't look as solid as the other colors. But overall, this is a great set with a nice color range, and it looks fantastic on black cardstock too. On the black cardstock, the orange pen actually looks more like a rose gold or bronze than orange, which I like a lot. If you don't have a foil quill because it's not in the budget or because you're just not interested, then either of these sets would be a great alternative. The Sakura metallic set retails for about $13, and the Uniball sparkling glitter pen set retails for about $15, where one of the foil quill tips retails for $39.99. The pens won't give you exactly the same look, but if you want to add some sparkle and shine to your cards and paper crafts, then I'd recommend either of these sets. The ink flow on the pens is nice and smooth, and so far I haven't experienced any skipping with them when I've used them as sketch pens. For today's cards, I'll be using Primitive Cream cardstock from My Favorite Things, which is a beautiful ivory color with specks throughout. It's a nice switch up from classic white if you're looking to do something a little different. For the sketch pen, I'll be using one of the gold pens from the Sakura metallic gel pen set. I'll slide a popsicle stick under the tool holder and place the pen into the holder until it just barely touches the stick. Then I'll tighten the screw on the side of the holder and remove the stick before loading the mat with the Primitive Cream cardstock into the machine. Now I'll go over to the computer and click the Send button in Silhouette Studio to send the sketch designs to the machine. I haven't had a problem with pens from either of these gel pen sets getting ink on the rollers of the machine, so I don't have to worry about placing sketch designs in specific areas or worse, having to move the rollers on my machine, which I really don't like to do. It only took the machine about 4 minutes to sketch all 3 of these designs, so it's a really quick process. You can fit up to 4 card fronts on a single page and have them all sketched out in about 5 minutes or so with the default sketch settings. When the machine is finished sketching, we'll remove the pen and pen holder, then place the auto blade in the left tool holder. Next, I'll head back over to the computer, uncheck the box in the row with the black square, check the box in the row with the blue square, which represents the cut lines, and click the Send button to send the file to the machine. The cutting process only took a couple of minutes, so you can have the designs sketched and cut in under 10 minutes. After the machine is finished cutting the card fronts, I'll unload the mat and remove them from it. I love how these came out. These pens have a really nice amount of metallic shine, and I think it makes the design really pop against the cardstock. I made A2 size card bases for all of the cards using the same cardstock that I used for the card fronts, and I added strips of score tape on the back of each card front, removed the protective paper, and adhered them on the center front of each card base. If you don't have score tape, you can use any double-sided adhesive or even craft glue for this. At this point, the cards are basically finished, but I had some platinum stickles hanging around in my craft stash and couldn't resist adding a dot of it to the center of the snowflakes on each card for a touch of extra sparkle. These cards were so easy to make, and the metallic gel pens give the sketch design such a nice shine. You can find a full list of supplies used in this video in the description area below or in the area below the video if you're watching on k.becca.com. I hope that this video was helpful for you, and if you'd like to see more sketch pen projects, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll tune in again soon.